And I suddenly went, oh, it's 7 o'clock. What's going on? It's not just me though. I just went out. Mum's like, oh, have you finished? I'm like, haven't even started yet. Haven't even started. But of course there's nobody here again. But is there? I don't even know anymore. It's just convincing me that I'm all alone in the world. And yet there might be people here. So I've been looking at various different things online. I don't even know what I've been looking at. This and that and other things like that. I can't find my hang on a minute. I'm gonna look for my plectrum. There's nobody here anyway. Whoa, it's disappeared. Oh no. Well, I can't play the guitar, which I'm sure will be a massive relief for everybody. What on earth happened to that? It's gone. It's disappeared. What can I use instead? Oh, there it is. It was there all along. Ha ha. Ah. You don't get a choice. I'm still gonna play this guitar that's out of tune. I haven't tuned it since yesterday. It could be in any state now. It could sound like it's supposed to, but it probably won't now, cause I haven't tuned it. But I'll still do all of the that's a G. All of the different chords. I'll probably even do an F. Just for fun. That's not an F. No, that's probably some sort of E there. Oh, I don't know. Hello, one person. How are you? Have you had a lovely day? I was just amusing myself in the absence of anybody actually coming into this live stream. I'm still on TikTok, very far from being able to do live streams, which I'm a bit resentful. I'm not sure actually what the point of a live stream on TikTok is. I was talking to somebody else that's recently started, pointed out that they were able to. They were like, what's this thing? That they were able to live stream. And they were like, oh, I don't think that's what TikTok is for. No, isn't it all about dancing youngsters? It's like, I don't get any dancing youngsters on my feed because I don't look for them and I don't want them. Thank you very much for that one star review. It is actually a thumbs up, which is much better. And in the old days would have been a 5-star on YouTube when they did that sort of thing. Do you remember back in the day you got 5 stars and if anybody gave you less than 5 stars then it would ruin the whole thing and it goes plummeting down? It was not a great system in that you're like, no, because nobody would, hello, how are you? Old school gaming, yes. In that if anyone gave you less than a 5-star, like somebody that still watches my stuff, I was like, please, I was begging people to rate my content, and he did, and it had been 5-star up till then. He gave it 3 stars, and I'm like, why did you do that? You've ruined it. It'll never be 5-star again. It's like, well, I don't give 5-star to anything. It's like, well, don't do anything then. Just leave it alone. But now it's thumbs up or not thumbs up, and it doesn't make much difference unless you're paying attention. Because even though it does get down rated, you don't generally tend to see that as much because it hides it from you, and you can hide it from other people. Haha. So you can pretend that you're ever so successful when actually you've got a million thumbs down, but nobody can see that. They can only see the 2 thumbs up. Well, if 2 people like you in the world, then you've made a success of yourself. On Twitter recently, I said I've not made a success of myself in any measurable way, but still I exist. And somebody's like, oh, don't say that about yourself. It's like, I'm just saying the truth. I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm just aware that I haven't really succeeded in any way that anybody can really say is a success. And I don't care. I'm still here. Haha, as if to thwart you all. I carry on. I will survive, as Gloria Gaynor, the great poet and philosopher, once said. More than once, actually, quite a lot of times. It's still around, and you can still hear from her wisdom. Yes, so it's been a week, hasn't it? It's been a week. Just like all of the weeks have been weeks. It's been a week. I don't know what's happened in the world anymore. I can't even remember. I think somebody got raided at some point, but that might have been last week. Politics, eh? Politics. You can't live with it. Politics. Politics. Nobody wants to hear me ranting about politics. That's the thing, though. I know what people do want to hear me talking about, because all the people that I follow seem to be talking about deep and meaningful things, and I'm like, well, that's not me. Would anybody want to see me talking about anything of note? Or anything, really? But I don't know. I've not found my niche yet. Whatever my niche is, I haven't found it. But that's fine. There's the two of you here, and at least one of you didn't hate it so far. So that's a win. A winny win-win. Like a horse. Has anybody said anything? Nobody. Live chat. Yes. Hello. Yes, old school gaming. That's the only person that said anything. Are you still here? Have you left me already? I hope not. Anyway, but my channel members, of which I have one, have asked for great videos, so I'm going to make videos for them and they can see them, and then after that I will release them to the general public. It will not be exclusive, but it will be early release. Like a prisoner who's done very nice things in prison, and that's what my videos will be. They will be kept locked up until they have proved themselves to be good and worthwhile, which is not great for my members. The people that are members of the channel will have to see them first and comment, and if they don't like them, then they can just stop being members, which they probably will be in short shrift. It's in short shrift. That's a funny saying, isn't it? Words are funny. Words are just... I won't go anywhere with that. I never go anywhere with anyone. Ha! This is an amusing concept that I will not explore in any great depth at all. I will just skirt over like a stone on a lake. Oof, you go, whoosh, and it will bim, 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 and then sink like a stone on a lake. Sink without a trace, never to be seen again, just stay there for millions of years. Millions of years. Can you play an F chord? I can did I not play an F chord for you? Or is that a B? There's more than one F, but that is probably an F or a B. They're very similar. One of them, and I think this might be something. That is that E minor, possibly. Who even knows a I don't really know, because I do not play guitar and I do not have an ear for music, as anyone who's listened to my music can tell. And I've driven away one of the people that was here, but that's just the problem. I'm very, very, very sorry that I've driven them away. Is anybody still here? Say here. Anyway, so yeah, it is what it is. And the whole point of this really is I'm supposed to interact with people, but only some people interact with me, so it gets a bit. So this is why why on TikTok, if I want to be doing live, why? Well, I was looking at one person who for the. Oh, you're still here! Hooray! I was looking at one person's feed. They were like posting a video. I'd never seen them before. They were like, I'm nearly at the stage where I can go live. And I'm like, I will subscribe. Oh, you know that I'll subscribe. Anyways, follow on there, so that makes no sense. So I did, and they immediately went live. So I was like, hooray! And then I was like, no, because now I have to stay here because I have made myself known and asked a question. And now if I go away, people will notice. And I realise that's the problem being audience. As soon as you make yourself known, you're like, I've got to go and do something more interesting now. And then you're like, oh, you feel obligated to stay and interact and make the person doing the video feel better. But that doesn't really generally happen here, that people just let me hang. Just let me go. Just like, don't really help me. That's very passive aggressive, isn't it? You're helping me, old school gamer. You're helping me, and I appreciate it, because it's all to do with interaction, isn't it? So, yeah. with this. It's very hot tonight. I've got hot all of a sudden, and I don't really know why, because it was really cold earlier on. Wow, the depth of conversation. So exciting. I'm probably going to have a very short show here. I say this, I've already been going 10 minutes. It's not that short. Short as short can be. So, old school gamer, would you like to hear a song about something? What do you want to hear a song about? Anything. If it's a song that's already existing, bear in mind that my interpretation might not sound anything like that song in any way, shape or form. It will just be what I know. If I've never heard about it, I'll still give you a rough approximation based on nothing in particular. What I perceive it to be. Anything? Nobody? Bueller? Could do Ferris Bueller's Day Off. What I remember. Okay, let's do Furious Bella's Day Off. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, as interpreted by somebody who just can't remember seeing it. I think Matthew Broderick's in it, and some other people. Phoebe Cates isn't in it, is she? Other people that aren't her. Anyway, so... Ferris Bueller went to school. He felt like he was a fool going to school. So he thought that he'd have a day off, a lovely, lovely day off, and he persuaded his friends. I think one of them was called Cameron, and another was called Phyllis or something. And his sister was Baby out of Dirty Dancing. Before she had a nose job. She hadn't had a nose job in Dirty Dancing either. Anyway, he persuaded Cameron to lend him his dad's car. He persuaded Cameron and his girlfriend that had long hair that they should go to the town and they should have lots of fun. And they went into the town and he did a shower scene first, but it wasn't a rude one. He just sang in a towel and with a hairbrush and that sort of thing. And anyway, then they all went to town and they took part in a carnival, and then they went home after lip syncing to a song, and then the car crashed into a crevice and Cameron was very sad. But Ferris Bueller didn't care because Ferris Bueller was a git. I was going to say something that sounded a bit like it. Ferris Bueller was not a good friend, and poor old Cameron had to learn a lesson that nothing is important as friendship, but the actual lesson he should have learned is don't be friends with a dick like Ferris Bueller, because Ferris Bueller was a sociopath, and Cameron deserved better, and so did the girlfriend, whatever her name was. I can't remember, and that was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. From what I can remember, there wasn't much story to it, was there? That was quite a short film where Ferris Bueller was awful and his friends indulged him a lot. I think there might have been a scene where they floated about a swimming pool. Anyway, poor old Cameron, who was in other things as well. He's in Succession, isn't he? He's one of the brothers in Succession. Also one of the Macaulay Culkin brothers. They're not called the Macaulay Culkin brothers. Kieran Culkin is the brother of Macaulay Culkin. Home Alone. Should we do Home Alone? Yes. Home Alone had a little boy called something, played by Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin was an annoying little child, and his parents all went on holiday. But they forgot him because they were terrible, 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 terrible parents. But one of them was the mother from Schitt's Creek, Catherine O'Hara. Catherine O'Hara. She deserved better than to be in that film, but it was an alright film, I suppose. Anyway. Macaulay Culkin stayed at home, and then some burglars came to his home, and then those burglars that tried to break in, got hit, I don't know, with a baseball bat, and then there was some other stuff, and then there was a sequel. And all I know about the sequel was Brenda Fricker was in the sequel, and Donald Trump was in the sequel because he insisted on being in it because they went to his hotel, and he was such an egotist that he wouldn't let them be in the hotel unless he said hello. So Donald Trump is in that film, and that's all I know about that film. And there might be a pigeon. And then I think there's some more that don't have Macaulay Culkin in it. Anyway, that was the very interesting and very exciting, very exciting Home Alone. Yes. Anybody else want anything else? Any recreations of 80s? That was 80s, wasn't it? Was that 80s? Was it 90s? It all blends into one. Any recreation of films from days gone by? Any films that you'd like to recreate? Probably not. We shall recreate them with a almost musical recreation. Anything? Bueller? Nope. So nobody wants to hear anything, but thank you for the other thumbs up. That was very nice. So, another film from the 80s, one of the films from the 80s, a film from the 80s that had Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal. Was that a film? I think I might have imagined it, but I remember very distinctly that there was a big film with Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal as buddies. They were buddies, and there was a train in it, or a car, and it was a very big film at the time, but I can't find trace of it now. Can anyone remember the film that had Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal when they were both at the peak of their fame? And it was the biggest film of the year, and I don't remember what it was called. It wasn't called Bullet Train, that's a different thing. That's a different film. It wasn't called On the Run. What was the name of that film? It was so much fun, and it was really exciting, and it was a buddy film with those two. Gregory Hines is well known for tap dancing. Billy Crystal is well known for soap and other things as well. He's well known for being in When Harry Met Sally. He's well known for being in some other stuff. He was in The Princess Bride, but you wouldn't recognise him if you tried. And so was Carol Kane. They were both in that, if you can remember. Anyway, I don't remember the name of the film or anything that happened in the film, or remember that film. Maybe I'm suffering from the Mandela effect because I remember nothing about that film. Talking of which, I saw something with Judith Light in it today, and I swear that when she was in Who's the Boss, that she was Judith Licht. It might have been pronounced Light, but it had a C in it. I swear! And I went looking for it. I was like, surely she used to be called... Why? She's called Judith Light? I thought it was a C. What's going on? And I looked, and she was in this thing, Who's the Boss, with Tony Danza. There was a remake called My Girl or something like that. There was a remake of it wasn't called Who's the Boss. It was called, I don't know what it was. There was a remake of it in Britain, and it was a similar type of thing. But Who's the Boss was also shown over here, but after the British version. I don't know why. I can't remember who was in it. Joanna somebody. Anyway, Honor Blackman, she was in it as the mother. Catherine Helmond, I think, was Judith Light's mother in Who's the Boss, and that all links to Billy Crystal. I see where my mind's gone to that, because Catherine Helmond was not Billy Crystal's mother in Soap. She was his aunt. Anyway, but surely not. This Mandela effect things are get very strange because there's no record anywhere that she had a C in her name. And yet I remember her having very distinctly, because I was like, is that how you, oh, not light, it's licht. Or light with a C. I like C. I don't know. And now I'm very confused because I swear that used to happen. That things happened in the past that have been changed. Like, for instance, the song Don't Stop Believing, everyone's like, that was everywhere in the 80s, and I'm like, are you sure? Because I know it was at the end of Sopranos in about 2004, give or take, and I know it was in Glee about 10 years after that, but before that, I swear, it did not exist. It did not exist. They invented it and put it back into time, and everyone thinks it existed, but it was never there. Journey is a figment of your imagination. Journey did not exist in the 80s. And you might say that you think they did, but that's because you're being fooled. Fooled. They never existed at all. It's been inserted in your imagination. And they fooled us all of us. They fooled you all. Journey, figment, complete figment. Anything else that happened? That I know that the chocolate bar Snickers used to be called Marathon in Britain. Now, if you're an American, it's always been called Snickers, but it makes no sense to you. But it was for a short period of time, a long period of time, in fact, called Marathon. But what is indisputable, Milky Way in this country, where I am, the United Kingdom, is not the Milky Way that I remember when I was a child. They have changed it. The Milky Way that they had when I was a child, that's not the same as the Milky Way they have now, is in no way the Milky Way that they have in America. And I've driven you all away talking about Milky Way. I'm very sorry about that. But Milky Way, if you're an American, is very much like a Mars bar is in this country. And I don't know what a Mars bar is in your country. A Mars bar might be called a something else. Milky Way! That's it. So a Mars bar in your country is a Milky Way in ours, and a Milky Way in your country is a Mars bar in ours. And that's very confusing, and I do not know why they've done that. Very confusing thing. If you went to America and asked for a Milky Way, you'd get a Mars bar made by Mars. But you don't care about that because there's only one of you left here. You've all gone away. I've driven you away talking about substantially insubstantial, substandard chocolate bars. I mean, it is chocolate, Mars chocolate. It is chocolate. It's better than Hershey's chocolate, but it's not really chocolate. And Cadbury's chocolate, not really. I do remember Cadbury's chocolate being quite nice when I was a child, but I was a child and I did not know better. And it's not what it was anymore. Not a nice thing. I don't know what chocolate you like. Let me know in comments. What chocolate do you like? Do you consider it chocolate? Because there was a period in the 90s or 80s that people pretended that they weren't allowed to call chocolate in this country chocolate. But then it turned out that that was something that was probably made up by Boris Johnson, who also said bananas were going to all be straight now. Bananas are all gay. So he lied. That's a lie too. Bananas aren't either of those things. They're pansexual. Bananas are pansexual. And if you don't believe me, ask a banana. Bananas can't be anything. They're also non-binary. They are whatever they want to be because bananas are the way to be. Ask a banana. Bananas. I've driven people away talking about pansexual bananas. What is the world coming to that? Political correctness gone mad. Mad, I'd say. Mad. I don't know. So, one more from the archives. Any film that you would like to see me recreate. People that are left, person that is left, one person that is left. Is it still Old School Gamer? Is what's your favourite film? What's your favourite film? And I'll try to recreate it for you with the magic of not quite being able to play the guitar, but knowing a few chordsness. Anything? No, I'll just carry on. Now, last year, I recreated all sorts of things like The Sound of Music and all the classics and The Wicker Man, all the classics and other things like that. But I don't know. Have I done all the films that existed in the history of the world? Have I done them all now? Is there a TV show you'd like to see me recreate? Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, good choice. Person that's not mentioned anything. I'm just pretending now. Pretending that somebody said. It's like Buffy, 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 Buffy is the chosen one. Buffy is the chosen one. Buffy is the chosen one. But by season 5 they chose more. Buffy died, they found more. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of chosen ones. Can you think of any? There was Faith. And then there was another one I can't remember. And then by the end of it, there were about 100 of them. And also there was Dawn, 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 Dawn. And Dawn didn't exist at the beginning, but then she did by the end. And also Angel had left for his own series by then, but Spike appeared and he was very blonde, but he was not English. He was in fact very, 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 very American if you heard him without the accent. Wasn't a bad accent to be honest, but Giles was English. Giles definitely was. But the other one wasn't. What was his name? Wesley. Wesley was definitely not English either. And Buffy never tried to be. Who was in it as well? Oh yes. Alison Hannigan. Alison Hannigan. She was in it as well. And some twins that weren't twins. One of them was a twin. So I can't remember anything about Buffy really, except there were some vampires and some snakes. And who else was in Buffy? Drusilla! Yay! I'm just naming names now, trying to remember things that I can remember about a series I haven't seen for at least a decade. And there was also Cordelia, who went to Angel when Angel spun off. So she wasn't in by the end, but she wasn't in Angel by the end because, let's be frank, Joss Whedon was a bit of a... Yeah, anyway, so that was nearly a song. Nearly remembering things about a series that I can't remember because nobody is playing a game with me. Are you still there, Old School Gamer, or is it somebody else that's showing up? It's showing somebody. And to be honest, I got twice as many thumbs up as I did yesterday with half as many people, which it's a miracle. Goodness gracious me, it's a miracle. Yeah. So that was the show today. We've got some more shows. I'm going to possibly do one tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know whether it's worth it with nobody turning up and I can't remember anything. It does depend on people talking to me. It's a big flaw in this concept, really. It's a big flaw. But, you know, you go with the flow. Yes, and then I've got one on Sunday as well. And then that's the end. I'm still going to be here. Just the end of my not really Edinburgh run. So it's very nice that you've joined me. I have guests as well in my other shows. If you want to go and see those, they're already on YouTube. You can see them with other people, and we're talking about all sorts of aspects of the Edinburgh Festival Fringe and beyond. So 2 people now just tuned in for the end of it. You have to scroll back to the beginning and realise probably wasn't worth it. But thank you very much for joining me. 3 thumbs up, that's even better. So yeah, scroll back to the beginning, see the whole thing. Half an hour, how could they make half an hour out of this? I don't know, it's as much of a mystery to me as it is to you. All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.